Hello and welcome. Today we're gonna talk about HackTricks, and basically it's not a card trick. It is just a website called HackTricks, and I kind of like this website. It's almost like okay, it's almost like GTFO bins in a way. The feeling I got when I the very first time opened GTFO bins, I was like, wow, no more Google time. This site is kind of the way. They do have a search function, and I really like search functions. I recently did a room with some vulnerability through something called DOAS, and I really haven't heard about that before. And then I basically just looked it up, wrote DOAS, and clicked here, and that actually gave me it kind of tipped me towards okay, so if you can output this conf file and it kind of says something like this, then you can see which commands, which binaries you can execute as root, for example. And then it kind of took me further to do more investigations, and then it's like, oh, I should find the exploit. But to talk about something a little more specific, what is this site all about, and what do they say? It's like, welcome to the page where you can find each hacking trick, technique, whatever I learned in CTF's real life apps, and reading researches and news. So this is a guy called Gadlas Bolup, I guess you should pronounce it as, and he starts with this pen testing methodology. Here you will find the typical flow that you should follow when pen testing one or more machines. So, and then he talks about different, stuff, and you should definitely look at these websites here, the STM and the INE. I think they actually didn't they buy Pentester Academy? Anyway, it's another story. Let me just shift to this page again. So, if you got the menu here on the left, we see stuff like about the author, which is really cool. You can read about the guy, and he got different certifications and working at this and that, and worked at this and that, and his CTF player, and if you want to speak Spanish to him and English, it's going to be fine. I guess it's a him, Carlos, But anyways, you also have some book on Privask escalation awesome script suit, which is the piece NG. So it's did he create that? I didn't think he did. Anyways, it's a lot of stuff on this page. So it's like pen testing methodology. What is pen test all about? And then you can read about having fun, port scanning, search services, versions, pen testing services, phishing, getting shells, forcing, brute forcing stuff, and Privask, post pivoting, and a lot more. It's a wonderful site. I would say one critic view on this is it wasn't, I think, intentionally Carlos didn't mean this site to be as something we use as a tutorial. It's more like a page you search on, so the search function is gold. So let's say you wanna find something about some Privask, so say sudo -l, and is that mentioned somewhere in any way? If you can access, you can use the tool follow sudo. Okay, so you can learn something here actually. And I would like to say, I think you should follow sudo to check if it finds how to exploit any sudo rule. And you can click the link and basically fall of sudo. It should be fail, but I really like how they create this logo with like a bleeding letters. Anyways, I think these kind of tools are really interesting if you can execute Python on the system where you have a shell. Obviously you need to have a shell. Then this is definitely a really good thing to have in your arsenal. You know, I didn't know this one. We can just look at the code, you know, and looks like it's a fairly comprehensive script, this one here, and basically, you know, it's written in Python, like, of course. And what kind of imports does it use? Nothing crazy. Like these, I guess, subprocess OS and sys are the most used ones. Yeah, from call, I guess. It's pretty. I would definitely suggest looking at this site some more. You know, you can find. I just learned something right now. You know, I really didn't know this fail of sudo, but fall of sudo. I didn't really know it. I'll be honest. So, and also about reusing sudo tokens and so on, so on. So we can go back to the search again and say, want to find something new now. I heard something about SMB client. I should definitely type it correctly. So it's SMB client, and it's like, okay, so authenticate using Kerberos. No, connect to list shared folder. It sounds like what I want. So you click it, and then you get a list of. You can say like no pass. Then you're trying to connect, I guess, as an anonymous user with no password, or just basically any user, but the IP in the folder. Trying to access the share, and you can see the different commands here can be used. Yeah, and basically you can even create some scripts for you to, this is a bash script where looping through different kind of things, and basically automating a lot of standard stuff. So I would say it does hold some value if you can automate to exploit the typical. What I would like to raise a hand here on is if you are really hired to do black box pen testing tests, these kind of tools for you is gonna save you time. That's basically it, It's also gonna make sure that you do every single exploit of something. You're gonna try every single type of folder. That is what automation will do. And you should also fairly think about there's a chance that your automated stuff might hurt the network, which is also why you need to make sure to understand what you're doing and not just read some text about, this is mostly safe, but mostly isn't 100%, and sometimes it does, hurt a network. So, alright, so we also have something called brute force cheat sheet here, and and you can see there's like a ton of different things we can do. Let me just see if we can get to the top here on the page. It's I don't know why it started in the middle of it all. I have no idea. But we are here now. And it also talks about, default credentials we can find. So, and it gives us some links, so we can basically just click the first one here and go to the GitHub page of the guy called Ihebski, whatever. And basically you can see a lot of information regarding default passwords and stuff, and even a video. And I think this guy did a really good job of creating an online web page that is public, of course, that can be used to do any kind of pen test. It's very comprehensive, this is work here, I would say. And I would almost beg for this guy to create a book. But then again, when you're pen testing something, sitting with a book and opening and shifting page and look for stuff, it's gonna take a lot of time, and maybe that is not the right way. Anyways, let's look at some stuff here. So we're gonna use Crunch to generate stuff and passwords for us. We can even use let's go down to something that most people use, some Hydra, to brute force our way to FTP server. You know, we can even try some basic auth here with Hydra again. And maybe if you don't know what basic auth is, it's just a pop-up on the browser that's gonna say like, please put in some password and username. It looks like some JavaScript pop-up basically. I guess it is in the browser. We also have some Hydra here for HTTP post forms. It's more like web pen testing. Yeah, also some shells you can click on, check this, and you know, I could continue forever, you know, to talk about all these kind of things he created, and I think it's a really good job. What is a little difficult using this site is to navigate it, because you have a big navigation to the left with links, and you have navigation to the right with links, and you have links in between, and you can change pages and stuff like that. It's okay, so but you'll get it eventually, and you will be really happy for this site, I'm pretty sure. And you can see I'm just scrolling through, you know, and you also have something about Steganography, you know, HackTricks. Okay, so I would say sometimes, you know, I have seen rooms on web pages like Try Hack Me and stuff that does, you know, Steganography. Usually it can be most can be solved by using the stick hide, and then actually this is the command that I used more or less, you know, and then I extract the password. But sometimes you need to, you know, do strings command of the file. You need to do exif2. You need to use foremost. You need to use bin walk, which is a bit more, well, yeah, hardcore, I would say. So this is the site, all kind of thing, crypto, CTF tricks, you know. I guess one day I'm gonna create some videos about stuff from this website. I'm gonna spark some ideas. I'm 100% sure. I'm gonna try and make it more, you know, build around, you know, some idea. This is more like a book. You search in and you find something, and from that you can spark your idea and your interest, and then go further and investigate whatever you need. So I hope you like this. HackTricks. I'm gonna put the URL in the link so you can faster find it instead of writing this as a big XYZ domain. So remembering this is a bit like, oh, but HackTricks on Google should do the job, to be honest, and it surely does for me. Maybe it's because I'm not even logged in. And he also have a GitHub, it seems. I just basically and here we what is all this? It looks like all the things we just stego here, and yeah, basically looks like all the things we just saw on the web page, and I really hope that you like this video and you can use this for something useful in your career. So just until next time, take care.